Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Blockchain and Beyond. As always, I'm your host, Farzan. Today, I'm joined by another very special guest. I've been waiting a long time to speak with him. It's probably been a couple months now, but I would like to introduce Wilder from Algogems.
Hey everybody, Wilder Stubbs with Algogems. I'm the CMO, and yeah, this has been a little while in the making for sure.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here and be able to connect with the ALGO community.
cool. Yeah, so I guess we can kick it off by, I guess, maybe a little bit of an introduction about yourself, about how you got to where you are, what you've done in the past, and what kind of brought you to, I guess, crypto or blockchain or even just algoritms.
Yeah. So my original experience with blockchain was about 2017, 2016. That was my first introduction to Bitcoin. Played around with Dogecoin a little bit back then, and uh, after that, I really got heavily involved around when GME happened. The whole GME pumping right around then
Yeah.
was when I really started to look at crypto a lot more, looking at decentralized options and alternatives to um, more controlled markets. And I was looking for the best technology out there, and the the rabbit hole of searching after you are looking outside of Bitcoin, something outside of proof of work. Uh, it's there's a lot of differing opinions, and there's a lot of great chains out there with their own advantages. But when push comes to shove, and me as technically limited as I am, reading research and taking people's opinions who I value and I think are um, uh, knowledgeable enough to make the right assessments, uh, I fell in love with Algorand. So I found a proof of stake chain, something that I thought was not damaging to the environment. I think that's something that is extremely important to me, and one of the big reasons why Algorand was where I settled was I thought it was something that was very sustainable. And once I found Algorand and I was exposed to that ecosystem, that's where I really started to learn about NFTs. So I was experiencing the Yieldy lottery giveaways.
Yeah.
I was familiar with the big projects that were already on Algorand. I didn't own any at the time. I was still a spectator, if you will. But Algogems came along, and that was an opportunity in the very early days of Yieldly, and when there were very limited ASAs. And that was how I kind of got my toe wet, if
Yeah.
you will, with NFTs, and it was a crossover between having a token and uh, having a relation to NFTs through a marketplace. And from there, the more I learned about NFTs, the more I learned about ownership, the more I learned about sort of finite supply and Algorand itself. One thing I liked about it was finite supply of Algorand, and NFTs give a lot of control about around supply and are focused really around supply, right? A one of one, something unique. So as I learned more about it and learned more about the applications and I witnessed them, uh, some things I've learned and other things I've been surprised by, amazed with, and as it's evolved and as I learned more, I fell in love, if you will, and applied for a position at Algogems. So they were happy to have me, and I've been doing my best ever since to spread the good word, uh, help the team develop partnerships, and represent the company in a public way. I don't do the development. The team is all French speaking who's doing the development. They all know each other. They're all from France, and our dynamics have been successful so far, and we are excited for what we've brought in the last month, and what we continue to deliver.
Yeah, no, that's a really awesome story, and I think a lot of people probably started the same way, right? Everyone kind of starts with either Bitcoin or something like Dogecoin, and then you kind of look further afield what else is out there. You're like, surely there's more than just this, and then hopefully, or some people come across Algorand and they read upon Algorand, they really love it, which I do too. I read the white paper. I'm like, this is like really good stuff. This is stuff that makes sense. It's coherent. It's legible. Like it seems perfect, right? And that's kind of what brought me in. And I agree with you. Kind of the yearly. was kind of the first DApp on Algorand, which I used as well. I was like, hey, this is awesome. I can stake my algo and I can earn some algo. I can earn some like yearly tokens. Then they did the NFT lotteries. I was like, okay, this is cool. Like Algorand's, it's getting up there. So I guess
On
we,
that on
yeah,
that note, the Yieldly and Tiny Man, I
yeah,
should mention Tiny Man as well. Being able to use those two, that was where I really got to experience Algorand, I'd say, because just holding it in your wallet and receiving
yeah,
rewards, it's not really the same. Like
mm,
sending something to your friend 4.5 seconds versus 10 seconds, they might not notice, but the actual usability, through the apps and not needing a Trezor or Ledger at the time, I felt comfortable
yeah,
securing with my phone, and that is like a two-factor.
mhm,
uh, the usability sort of drew me in, I would say, around that
yeah,
Yieldly Tiny Man era when I could
mm,
actually use it and see
yeah.
the benefits.
Yeah, and for me, the biggest thing was, everything is like effectively free to use.
Yeah,
The transaction costs are, practically non-existent, to the
yeah,
point where you can actually try and, you can mess around with these applications. You can see how they work, what are the little quirks. Whereas, with something like Ethereum, it's like $8 just to make a transaction,
yes,
which might not even
yes.
even make it through. So that was
That
like a big thing for me, right? Because coming into crypto, I'm like, I don't want to be putting, hundreds of dollars into this just to learn it. Whereas
mhm,
Algorand, it's like, hey, it costs nothing, and you can get so much mileage out of it. So I definitely
mhm.
feel you in that space.
Yeah, it lets you explore, and that's you touched on a topic like it being easy to use and free, and this is something I want to talk about,
Yeah,
and I don't know if clear the air is the right term, but maybe provide a little more explanation with what Algogems has specifically. So we have a feature on the website, and we promote it a lot, called free to mint, or you can mint for free on Algogems. So it's an option on Algogems. If you don't mint for free, you just pay the 0.001
yeah,
transaction fee. We're offering a UI that we think is superior and gives you a little more flexibility and tools to simplify it,
mm,
whether it's video, audio, images, regardless.
yeah,
We have a minting suite, but we don't charge anything to mint. But we have a free to mint feature, which is
hmm,
for people who don't even have any algo. They just have opened up a pair of wallet, whatever, and they
right,
have a seed phrase saved and an address. We allow people, because Algorand is so cost effective, to mint for free. Essentially, uh, we are minting through a smart contract into one of our wallets and in the metadata, because that's a big thing about Algorand that maybe a new investor may take for granted, but having that memo field on chain
yeah,
is such a huge thing and is such a big piece
mm,
of Algorand, which I felt like newly coming into it was like Ethereum
yeah,
mixed with like XRP was the best
yeah,
way I could explain it to someone who was like base level new about
yeah,
crypto. But that functionality of uh, the wallets, you're not the manager, you're not the creator on chain, but in the metadata, we have you labeled as a creator, and that tool and that process where it's fully compatible with Algogems, we treat it all the same, royalties, everything. I have witnessed multiple creators who've come in, no crypto at all, and have been able to get Algorand into their wallet, start minting themselves into their own wallet, and have developed a what I'm going to call a business, but
yeah,
uh, comparable to their own online art gallery, and
hmm,
it's a very enabling thing. The low cost and what
yeah,
it allows, like the risk for us to allow free minting.
yeah,
Well, we're not really taking on much risk. If someone disappears and doesn't want their NFT, the Elgrand isn't lost.
yeah,
It's only that point zero zero
mm,
one, the point one you can claim back. So there's
yeah,
a lot of great uh, quality in the Elgrand chain.
yes. No, that sounds awesome, but I wanna bring it back just a little bit. So,
Mhm.
for people who aren't familiar with Algogems, what is Algogems as a token, as a platform, as a tool?
Yeah,
Sell it to someone.
yeah. If I were to sell Algo Gems, I think it's multiple pieces. So there's two sides to the platform, and they work together in unison, but it appeals to two different groups, and they don't always overlap. So there's the creator side, and I can also set the record straight on this. That's Algo Gems without a capital G in the middle. So that's Algo Gems with a lowercase g. That's the NFT platform. That's where people can go. They can mint NFTs, they can list their NFTs, and they can customize their profile, tie in social media links, those types of things. There's Algo Gems with a capital G in the middle, and that's the token, that's the ASA Gems. and that is what is used in the DAO of Algogems. So NFT marketplaces, it's very common to have a verification status or some form of approval saying eyes have looked at this profile and they've said you can be comfortable purchasing this. Uh, the chance of it being a scam or fraud is low. So that process, as you grow and you have more requests, it's a scalability issue. It's something that is a problem, and you can keep hiring more and more internal people to do this, but there have been cases with OpenSea where that can lead to a lot of fraud. There's a lot of insider information, someone choosing this is allowed, this is not. It's a tricky problem that we think blockchain solved elegantly, allowing us to create a DAO and give them a job that is allowing the platform to grow. So the DAO, which uses gems, snapshot staking, people who know Algorand and know Algorand governance, we allow you to vote from your wallet, but the tokens don't leave your wallet, so they're secure in your wallet, and they verify, they ban, they spotlight, and they essentially control the content that is on the website. So that is Algogems, the token. And the reason why you would want a gem, and the reason why you'd want to do this work, and you'd want to contribute to the marketplace, because you might not be an NFT creator, but you're interested in the token, the value proposition currently, and what's going to be expanded on, but the utility of the token is that you can vote, you can participate, and be rewarded with a percentage of the marketplace fees. So those marketplace fees, they're collected on every sale, every transaction, and a amount of those, a percent of those, is converted into gems and distributed to everyone participating. So it's the incentives are aligned, and so far we've had a lot of success. We have over 500 people verified, and it's been doubling every period with the applications to be verified. So that's the gem side. It's a way to generate revenue and help moderate a platform. It's kind of get paid for moderation, paid for curation. And Algogems with the lowercase g in the middle, the NFT platform, is a place where you can have an NFT business. You set up your storefront, have your profile, mint NFTs, have them organized in one place, view them. And I find once you start making NFTs and you get your first sale, you end up spending those proceeds purchasing other NFTs because you like other work. You get inspired by others. Yeah, those are the two pieces of Algogems.
Okay, cool. No, that actually, teaches me more about Algogems as well, right? Because I knew there was a platform, I knew there was a ASA or, a token, but I didn't know much about the whole DAO side of things. And, that's something. DAOs, are really new, they're really interesting. There's, not a lot of strong use cases for them. But here, you've got, a product, and then you've also through the DAO, you've kind of got like a management team of sorts, right? So,
oh yes, yeah. and they put in the hours. Like they'll reach out through email to people. They'll investigate. It's the system works. It's a very positive thing.
Yeah. So it's Algogems with a lowercase g for the platform, and a capital G for the token. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Once we're done, that's going right on Twitter to make a big announcement for anyone who's still confused. No, but yeah. No, but that's cool. I think it's definitely innovating, especially on the DAO side of things, right? Where you have a product, and then you also have a actually full blown proposition for people to actually hold the token. Whereas, if it was just a platform, there's necessarily no real reason for people to hold a token. But now, people have a vested interest. They can vet new projects. They can make sure the projects that are going on the platform are projects that they support, that the creators are genuine, that they can actually follow through with, and they actually benefit from it. Not only from the token propositions, but also just by seeing better content available.
Mm.
And I think that's quite unique, especially what we've seen right now, because there's a number of NFT galleries available on Algorand, but this seems to be taking it a step further, right? And I am a little bit into NFTs, but there's so many things going on. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the different galleries, all the different creators. And if Algogem ends up being like the central marketplace for NFTs, that sounds really good. I guess this is just a question from my side. So if I have, say, an NFT, can I list it on Algogems? So
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah. So the easy answer to that is yes. And Algogems first and foremost is open for anybody to use, whether you're, which means yes, there are people on there scamming and trying to fraud, but anybody can go on there and list an NFT. You don't see the NFT on Algogems unless you uncheck a button which says show unverified NFTs,
Okay.
or your direct link from Twitter, right? But
Yep.
you have the tools there if you're direct link to
Hmm.
know, and if you're direct link, you know who you're going to essentially. But past that, there anybody can list, and you can list other collections, anything you'd like. You can make offers on any NFT you want. It's extremely open, and we consider ourselves uh, the for creator and for someone who's doing primary sales. We feel like we're a premier choice. We give the control of the royalty to the creator, which is a different choice than ALGO NFT, for example, which the seller chooses the royalty, which allows for maximum profit trading NFTs. But the appeal of allowing royalties to be in your control,
Hmm.
we essentially empower the creator as much as we can. So that's what's behind listing through Algogems, and the fee associated with that is 2.5%.
Okay.
So 2.5%, and the contract. And one differentiating feature, the contract is handled through a smart contract.
Hmm.
So we don't have a locker that we can essentially reach into. Um, there is a there is an extra level of trustlessness. Well,
Hmm.
you deploy it, you close it. That's it.
Yep. Cool. And another question. So sales on the platform, are they done in Algorand, or are they done in Gems, or are they done in both?
It's really up to the person
Okay.
listing it. It's always up to the person listing it. It can be Algo, by far the most popular, but very recently COSG has become a huge one. We had our largest sale on the platform through COSG recently, which was a little bit over 6,000 Algo. And the option is it's growing month by month, but we offer stable coins in there, USDC, STBL by AlgoFi.
Yep.
We have Go ETH and Go BTC for people who are used to OpenSea options and want that asset as a comparable to
Hmm.
sort of an open, more encouraging for an OpenSea artist to
Yep.
come over and have pricing schemes they're familiar with. So yeah, stable coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum alternatives on chain, and a growing list of community tokens. So Gems is included, HDL, any marketplace that has a shop on
Yep.
Algogems has their currency listed.
Okay.
Oh,
That.
DGen.
D.
Let me mention that DGen. Yeah, DGen. DGen is the one, is a token that is on through force of will from the people behind it. The community is really strong in DGen, and we're part of KinDAO. Zestbloom loves
Yep.
DGen, so we love DGen. We all
Yep.
love DGen. Might as well add it. We had the ability to, so
Yeah.
that's why DGen's there.
Nice. No, no, that's definitely much more expansive than I initially thought. Which I guess giving people the option is the biggest part of it, right? Let people buy with what they want and kind of sell with what they want, receiving what they want, which is probably a really big thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so the next part we were really excited to get into is you've been doing some work with Algo Leagues, and Algo Leagues is a project that I've spoken to before on this show. Spoke to the creator and founder. He's a really awesome guy. I love what the project's doing. Trying to introduce people to blockchain with technology through NFTs and in like a fun play to earn, play to learn, as he calls it, sort of way. So why don't you go
yeah.
ahead and share what you've been doing with them?
Algo Leagues is a an excellent existing project. They're already a success coming to Algo Gems, and I know the founder, a great person. Got to meet him in New York City, and also uh, an amazing person to just speak to and know. That's how I met Eddie, was through Twitter Spaces, or at least I got to hear him and was inspired through Twitter Spaces to talk about Algo Leagues specifically in their shop and what they're offering. Uh, they are moving a lot of the processes that they had on Discord, and a lot of NFT projects right now have a lot of their actions and a lot of their Web3 interactions through triggers on Discord. So we're moving the majority of what they do on to Web 2, Web 3, directly onto the website and giving the user sort of one place they need to be. So we're going to start off with NFT staking. That's already happening right now. If you hold a Algo Leagues NFT, you should have received some ALC this morning. We'll be moving from there to what they have in Discord called an upgrade chamber, but on Algogems will be fusions where you can swap NFTs or combine multiple NFTs and get a different one. And finally, packs, which will be kind of guaranteed rarity. You know, you're going to get a legendary or an epic, and the rest of the cards, there's a chance of what you're going to get. But that idea that whenever you get a pack, you know you're going to get a rare. Anyone familiar with opening up packs of cards knows what I'm talking about. So those are the features that are going to come with the Algo Leagues shop on Algogems, and I think it's going to help the project a lot for first of all exposure to our community, a lot more interaction between them, but also having your project on a site. And nothing wrong with Discord, but we have seen a lot more exploits being related to Discord. As you start sharing privileges, you open up a lot of risk, and it's a very good relationship for us because we feel like we're empowering Algo Leagues to reach a larger audience, and an audience who might not want to go into Discord and is just used to browsing on their computer.
Yeah, no, I can definitely resonate with that. You know, using Discord for a lot of platforms or a lot of Discords, you know, have verification through Discord. You know, you put in your wallet address, but it can be sometimes hard to use, especially if you're not familiar with Discord. You know, doing that sort of stuff can be, you know, it's not the most user friendly or the most intuitive because you're typing in, you know, text commands. But definitely having, you know, an online platform, you know, like the online fusion chamber sounds a lot more interesting than, you know,
Yeah,
an upgrade chamber where you have on Discord, you know, where you would type in like an upgrade command and, you know, type in some text and it goes ahead, right? I'm sure you can, you know, get a lot more creative bringing it onto, you know, a web platform instead.
and visualize it as well. I
Yeah.
feel like Discord, you lose a lot of that, and I feel like it definitely aids it if most people don't
Yeah.
find that the best way to view things. At least having something visual is a good aid. So on Algogems, if there's a Algo Leagues NFT now in the bar, when you're looking at it, you can see a little icon saying NFT staking available, so people know
Yeah.
if they have this NFT, they're staking rewards and
Mhm.
those types of things. It's just reducing friction, making it easier for people to interact with the NFTs and get involved. So we
Yeah.
were happy about that. I still think you need to go to Discord to play the game right now and
Yeah.
interact with the community, but you don't need to be going in there and typing in commands. It's
Yeah.
a lot more comfortable, I think,
Yeah.
for the average user now in Discord, or
S-
will be in Discord as we
Yeah.
roll this out over the coming weeks.
Yeah. So are some of these functions already live?
Yeah, so the staking is live right
Okay.
now. The airdrops have been happening. If you
Yep.
see airdrops that are coming into your wallet, that's us.
Okay.
That's the contract executing. So that's already in the wild. The fusions are in a testing phase right now.
Yep.
There's not a public interface, but it's in the what I'll call the deployment stage. That will be ready this weekend, kind of thing. Like the testing phase can be very short if it's
Mhm.
depending on the simplicity of the smart contract. This one here is exchanging ASA
Yeah.
IDs, sending those ASAs to one wallet, and the real friction there is making sure everyone's opted in.
Yep.
So it sounds a little simpler as far as the
Yeah.
sophistication compared to whitelisting and things like that. So that's the next thing to land, and finally will be PAX. PAX is a it's pushing the limitation of what you can do on chain with a single application call. So it's it's not a impossible problem, but it is something that has sort of been put at the end and is being developed in pieces. So expect to see staking's already there. Fusions are going to be coming this week essentially, and the packs and the next release of characters. Those are kind of going to roll out sort of when the technology is complete,
Mhm.
but it's sort of top of our priority list. I think the packs should be rolling out, and what we want to have available with packs, and this is more than just Algo Leagues, but Discord bots or Telegram bots that can track sales, and um, I feel like that's a very valuable feature right now.
Mhm.
Some form of notification for people who have those communities and want to show off their volume. Uh, we feel like that goes hand in hand with packs and being able to kind of flex what you've done. So
Yeah.
that also includes a Twitter bot as well. So those are something to look forward to in the coming months.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, with the packs, that it actually opens up. Because I'm seeing more projects, or I've seen a handful of projects using a pack sort of system where you open a pack, you draw a number of NFTs as you do, whether it's Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You're seeing a few more NFT projects doing that. So I think if you kind of have a streamlined platform, to help onboard these projects onto them, it definitely opens up the capacity for not only more projects to join the platform, but to just make things easier for people overall. Because that's probably one of the biggest things. Having, if you've never used Discord, going onto Discord to join a server can be quite daunting, especially if you're typing in commands and you're inputting your wallet address. If you're not familiar with blockchain and how public keys and private keys work, that can be almost daunting in a sense. You're like,
Yeah.
am I gonna like get hacked? Is someone gonna like rug me? Like, what's the deal with typing these commands? But with kind of a web platform, people are much more familiar with it. You can integrate, connecting your wallet into it by default, right? So you literally press connect, you press accept on your wallet, it connects to the app, you can carry out your transactions, you get your little pop-ups. I think the entire process will just make like onboarding people a lot easier than how it currently is, and to get people involved with the project. Because once someone goes through the upgrade chamber on the website, or open some packs, then that might actually encourage them to be like, hey, I want to get more involved with Algo Leaks, let me jump on their Discord. And then there they can meet Eddie, they can meet the rest of his team, the people he's working with, the rest of the community,
Yeah.
and actually get involved with what's going on. So I definitely think there's a lot of capacity for what you guys are doing to actually just onboard people a lot more easily into NFTs, especially on Algorand.
Yeah, and I think like the a distinction, and I was speaking critically of Discord earlier when I was talking
Yeah.
about what we're doing, but I'm speaking about that when it comes down to like security risk,
Yeah.
or uh, things can go awry and people can get hurt. This is I think it's a great tool to build a community, but there's a limit to where you want to be relying on it too much, and I think you can be relying on it too much when it comes down to NFTs changing hands and performing a lot of Web3 functions, which Web3 really means transactions. Things are moving, right? Moving on the
Yeah.
blockchain. So that opens up a lot of risk. And we have a strong belief that people who, like you had said, we're experiencing packs, seeing the NFTs on Algogems with that icon saying you can stake, there's going to be curiosity there. And we expect it to be the good all around. The more you learn, the more you earn.
Yeah, no, that's a mantra I picked up from Eddie. Eddie loves
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. And he kind of brings it home as well, right? Anything Eddie says, it's very wholesome. There's a lot of love behind it.
Yes,
So
yes,
no, I
that's a great
think
way to put it.
having Algo Leagues as kind of the first big project that you're integrating with, is probably a really great thing. So hopefully, as we see Algorand being adopted by new people, hopefully they will come across Algo Leagues, they'll come across Algogems. Coming across Algo Leagues is one thing, but coming across Algogems at the same time, which gives you exposure to NFTs and other communities, that's like a whole nother level of where it can go. Because that kind of just opens the gates for people, because people don't know, hey, where do I look for new NFTs on Algorand? But if they're already on the platform, that just makes it so much easier for them to do so.
Yeah. One thing I didn't mention with governance is the kind of the overlap where the NFT platform and the curation aspect have collided in a very positive way. Is people who are governing and checking out these profiles and verifying them, when they do find ones that they're excited about verification, it usually leads to that creator having more sales. You're getting exposure directly to people who are invested in the success of the marketplace.
Yeah.
So I think that's a another nice aspect as well. I think like exposure, things can snowball, and we expect that as well. I will say there's, I don't want to show any disrespect to Cosmic Champs. They came in as sort of like a primary launch with us, and we offered them a way to do private releases to their community. Algo Leaks coming in is going to have a bigger impact in the interface of the website, especially off the bat with that staking logo. And uh, yeah, they're coming in as big dogs,
Mm.
as I call them, but they're successful.
Yeah.
They're a great project, and we're proud to be partnered.
Mm. So no, that's great. I mean, like, definitely working with different projects. Every project has its own sort of impact, right? Working
Yeah,
with Cosmic Champs probably gave you some sort of insight. Working with Algo Leaks is giving you a different sort of insight, right? So every project you work with gives you kind of new ideas to work with, new feature ideas, new things to make the platform better and stronger, right? So it's
yeah.
never a bad thing to work with more projects. Um, so I'm gonna bring this round kind of for my curiosity stuff. Is the DAO stuff already up and running? Can people actually participate in this stuff if they're holding tokens, or is that still in the works?
So it's actually just wrapping up its second period right now.
Okay.
We're going into our third one, and yes, you can. Actually, right now the window is open. It's open for the next 2 weeks. So you go to the website, go to when you log in, under your profile, you can choose governance. Right there, you can stake your tokens and participate. There's a lot of information about it if you're in our socials,
Okay.
but as far as like finding a news article about Algogems governance, uh, not currently. You
Okay.
got to be on
Yeah.
our Medium or through Reddit, Twitter. Those types of places is where you can find out more about governance.
Okay. Cool. No. That's I'll check that one out because I do hold a little bit of gems. I think from my yearly days. Um.
Yeah, it's worth it. You only need one to participate, so you can at least take a look and,
Yeah.
get a look behind the veil, if you will.
Mm.
See what's going on behind the scenes with Algogems, see the nitty gritty.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it will give me a good way to also get involved with the Algogems community as a wider platform as well. See how the platform works. Because I've taken a look. I've not used it extensively myself, but it will give me a good reason to do so. Um. Yeah. I mean, is there anything else you wanna talk about?
I I will mention that we are in the works, or we are working on releasing our first Algogems NFT project, and it's an NFT project for our governors first and foremost, and a gradual rollout of quality art uh, with fun things.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so just for people listening in, because I've had to cut some of this out. So you guys are actually working on a Algogems NFT project. You're currently, so there's Space Gems, which is something for the governors to get rewarded, a nice thank you for them. But you're also working on, I guess, a wider project. But you're just looking for the right uh, artist to actually make it come to reality. Someone who can bring good value to the project and to Algogems as a whole. Um, that's going to be really hard. I'll be honest. There's a lot of great artists out there.
Yeah. And
um,
we have gotten into a good, we think we have found the talent for it, and what we'll have something on September 2nd that I think people will be excited
okay,
about in the Algorand community.
cool. September 2nd. I'll make a note of that date to keep an eye out. But yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I think that probably just about wraps up
Yeah,
everything we wanted to talk about. So I guess just from my side, a big thank you for coming in and chatting with me. It's whenever I sit down with anyone, you're no exception. I learn something new. I learn something new about Algorand. I learn something new about the communities. I learn something new about even blockchain in general. The capacity of what blockchain can do, how it can change. We've seen how NFT platforms have how they started, what they are now. You have platforms like OpenSea, which is massive for Ethereum, and then you have platforms opening up on Algorand, and then you have Algogems, which is NFT platform, but kind of with a twist, with integration for a lot of other projects. So there's so much innovation which is happening with these projects, in NFTs in particular, right? Um, Especially with recently the Arc 19 upgrades, we've seen a lot of new NFTs that are modifiable. So like Mostly Friends is one of the big ones. That one's awesome. You can kind of evolve your NFT as you go along. You can pick and choose its characteristics. And it'll be awesome to see how Algogems in the future kind of integrates into that. So yeah, no, I guess from my side, a big thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. um yeah.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, thank you, and I look forward to when we can do this again.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll definitely keep in touch, and I'm sure we can make something work in the future. Especially when you guys are dropping some more cool stuff, it'll be cool to sit down
Definitely,
and make something
definitely.
work. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's all for today, peeps. Thank you so much for listening. You know where to find me on Twitter. I'll include all the links below. I'll also include all the links for Algogems and also Wilder's socials, so you can go and check them out. Their governance period is also open at the moment, so check that out if you want to get involved. I think you just need one gem, which is a minuscule investment in terms of Algo. Um,
Yeah, to take a look. To take a look.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's definitely something that everyone, if you're interested, should definitely take a look at. But yeah, until next time, thank you and goodbye.